attempt to fight off all of the enemy Legends 27 team. Caitlyn goes ahead and finishes off Lucian. Graves is doing his best to keep Elise off of Caitlyn. Fizz comes back into the fight, goes ahead and finishes off Karma. Caitlyn goes and finishes off Elise. It looks like there might be either a Baron or this might be the end of the game. Shen is driving Final Light Gaming towards the side that definitely did not need to have 4 members pushing on it. So unfortunately, because all of those guys are there and that there's nothing else there, I think this might be it.
Absolutely. And honestly, a lot of this game came down to the jungler. With that Graves being so effective, he was able to cut out the advantages in the lanes with his pressure that allowed his team to get those powerful picks that continued into the late game. And we saw so much pressure, especially in the dragon control. With those 2 Infernal Drakes right off the bat, they were able to get an additional 16% higher damage than the enemy team was, which continues to build up on itself as their builds continue. This just goes to show how strong the potential that Final Light Gaming is. The Legends 27 does have opportunities to fight, and they have shown that they have definitely skill to fight it. But that game, the Graves just clearly out-jungled that Elise, and the picks didn't matter as much because Final Light Gaming got so far ahead.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point. The Graves completely took advantage, and he essentially made the map his own. By finishing the game 9-0-8, that essentially showed that he had quite a bit of power over, had quite a bit of understanding as to what was going on and where he necessarily could fit in a situation like this.
Sorry. Yeah, and absolutely. We are seeing the fact that even with this top lane matchup, the Shen actually was not able to get those early pressure advantages because Nautilus took the slightly better very early game he had and pushed with that, forcing Shen to fall behind too early for him to keep up with that later scaling damage potential that he has against tanks, meaning this Shen option was completely shut out due to the play patterns that this Nautilus employed rather than the direct pick itself.
Right, and also we can't completely deny the fact that Final Light Gaming definitely seems to have either be more awake or have a stronger sense of strategy. They ended up finishing the game with a 15k gold advantage. Caitlyn did not die. She finished 4-0-7. Nami did her part by being 0-2-8. Nautilus, like you said, he was playing patiently. He didn't get any kills. He died once, but he got 9 assists, and he completely disrupted Shen in a lot of the instances where Shen's ult could have potentially saved a team fight. Fizz finished 9-1-1, which just, again, went to show you that between all of the members of Final Light Gaming, there was no lacking in ability or capacity to pull off the strategy that they hope to employ. So good game on those guys' part for finishing the way that they did. And we're looking forward to seeing them in their second match of today, just a little bit later. We're going to take a small intermission to kind of get things prepared for this next match. So we look forward to seeing you guys within the next few minutes. And we'll have that second match between Legends 27 and Final Light Gaming ready for you when we come back.
miss the days when we were sober, but it'll be alright. All those years we
And we're back, ready for the second match between Legends 27 and Final Light Gaming. It looks like both teams have agreed to stay on the same side that they were on, so we're getting right into it again.
One of the things we're noticing about the ban phase so far is that the Legends 27, or rather Final Light, is repeating the exact same bans as before. It looks like they're definitely going to be trying to go for that very heavy tank top laner. Meanwhile, the Legends 27 has significantly altered their ban phase.
And, ooh, man, as a result, both of the champions that they banned in the last game, they're in here now.
Yes, absolutely. With that Lulu and Ivern, those are potentially very powerful picks, and they're hoping to trade away those picks for making sure that the Graves and Nautilus are not able to ruin those lanes like they were able to last game.
At this point, I kind of have to wonder which one's going to be more of a problem. Is it going to be Graves or is it going to be Ivern? We've seen Iverns do some pretty terrible, as in really good. They've done some pretty terrible work on the Rift in this tournament, so I'm kind of wondering whether or not it was such a good idea to kind of let the Ivern get through at this point. Like, I know that allowing Graves to come back would be extremely detrimental to the Legends 27, but at the same time, either you can get the champion out of the way or you can come up with a counter for that champion, and I think it probably would have been a little bit better to try and come up with a counter for him, because it's better to fight the enemy that you know than to fight the enemy that you don't know, I think, sometimes.
That is definitely one thing. Another thing to notice is that Elise and Zyra were picked. They're definitely looking for a massive power spike on that level 6 for the Legends 27's bot lane. Elise with the early game pressure as well, trying to be able to counter that Ivern. Ari mid is going to be looking for some early aggression and especially a lot of pick potential when she reaches level 6, which is interesting because Caitlyn seems to, while she does have pick potential with her ult, is also very good at setting up. As far as mid lane goes, we are seeing that there have not been targeted bans in mid lane, and dealing with an Ari is something you need to fight with immense pressure and damage in the early game, which, with that locked in Syndra, goes exactly with what the Legends 27 would need to try to have and carve out that advantage mid. Having Syndra on your team is incredible burst damage that can be supplied, and while Ari and Syndra both end up building Abyssal Scepter relatively early against higher AP matchups, this could definitely go in Syndra's favor, especially due to the consistent and high speed of the Syndra stun that can also affect multiple members on Final Light Gaming's team.
All right, so we got all of our champions picked out here. It looks like there's going to be an Olaf versus Gangplank, Ivern versus Elise, Ari versus Syndra, Ashe versus Caitlyn, and Lulu versus Zyra. In terms of team comps, again, I kind of feel like Legends 27 has kind of a little bit stronger of a team comp, in my opinion, just because there's more AoE and more CC. Some of it's single target, some of it's multi-target. So there's a lot of different options for them in terms of how they want to proceed in team fight situations, whether or not they want to go for a pick or whether or not they want to go for kind of like some mass attack. Final Light Gaming, they're going to be going a little bit more for picks, so they're going to be a little more worried about whether or not they're starting fights or kind of running away from one, but they definitely have all of the tools necessary to make sure that they can actually get out of sticky situations as they come up. And considering that Olaf, Ivern, and Ari have a really strong capacity to dive back lines, it'll be good for trying to get to Ashe, Zyra, and Syndra. However, because there really isn't a tank line, it's not like you necessarily needed that. So, I mean,
we're definitely seeing two squishier teams this game. The most durable person in this game is going to be that Olaf, and he is running Teleport Ghost, a very common summoner setup for an Olaf. And what I think we're going to be seeing is him taking a lot of aggro when Final Light Gaming tries to initiate these team fights. With his Ragnarok ultimate making him unaffected by CC, he will be able to jump in and either kill members of the Legends 27 or have to divert all of their attention in order to take him down very swiftly, allowing people like that Ari to get picks on other members as well.
All right. And also, we got kind of like if I'm going to start looking at the bot lane, we have the Ashe and Zyra bot lane versus the Caitlyn Lulu bot lane. In all honesty, I kind of think that the Caitlyn Lulu bot lane has the advantage here just because Lulu has the capacity to kind of poke long distance along with Caitlyn. Ashe and Zyra are going to be more of pokey sustained damage, but it's not going to be a sustained